I think for a man, the emotion that you really want to possess and be most comfortable with.
And I'm not just talking about relationship.
Right. No. I'm talking about just like one of the emotions.
Yeah.
I really want to say crying. It wasn't even it wasn't a thing for me like.
All right. So let me dig into this. Do we think crying is an emotion?
Is it not? Like.
I don't know.
Oh, we gotta edit that out.
No,
about to check me on our show.
Crying.
That nigga said we wanted to be checked. About to check me on our show.
What's the fucking warrior in your ass?
Well, is that an emotion though?
It's action.
It's an action.
No.
So an emotion can look up the emotion.
Are you looking up emotions?
Yes, he is.
I feel so bad right now. Like we not about to air that. Are you serious? We not airing that. I know my emotions. Now? Okay, wait.
Is that a list?
I'm like more off the top.
Is that a list?
Oh, now you want to see it?
I don't.
Yeah, you do. I'm gonna just hand it to you because I don't want you to. Okay, look, but you just look. I saw you look. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. When I got the outline for this show,
You were just gonna wait some other shit.
Come on.
they said emotions, and I'm saying to myself, I got that shit. That ain't about nothing. And I came up here and I said crying, which is not an emotion. And from that point forward, I have been lost, trying to get back on track.
$1 million pose with these $1 million flows. I ain't thinking about a deal, ain't $1 million no. Back up on my
Welcome back, everybody, to the Male Intuition. We got a special guest with us here today. She looking fine, beautiful. You know what I mean? I'm hyped. I'm excited about this one. You know, it's your boy Dajon, man. I'm here with my co-host.
What's going on, everybody?
Forgot your name?
No, I did. I'm big. Come back. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Male Intuition. We are excited to be back. We have, as Dajon said, a special guest, Miss Janae Raquel.
Roll that R. Roll that R.
Raquel.
If you don't, just throw it away. And how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
You look good.
Thanks.
That's what's up. I like the glasses, the court. You know what? It's one thing to wear clothes, but when you can accessorize, it brings it into a whole new light. Like most people think these are regular black pants, but you got hella symbols on here. Like it looked like something from the Mummy. Like we could unlock something if we, you know.
Symbol, right.
Yeah. But it's beautiful. Y'all can't even see the color right here right now, but it's like autumn.
The color right now.
It's autumn.
Autumn, summer.
Autumn. Look
I'm
at
a
that.
season ahead.
Autumn. I like it.
Whatever.
Tell us about yourself.
Damn, baby, what you do to your hair?
Damn, baby, what you do to your hair? Orlando, you like it? It's autumn sunrise.
Yo! Alright, so, what shoes do I fill? So on the internet, I serve many purposes. I wear many hats. And I am a producer of many things. I love teaching people and sharing with people and allowing them to feel on the internet. So that's one thing that I promote. And I cater to men and women to be the best versions of themselves, online, offline, professionally, and personally. So I have many different things that I work on, but as of right now, I call myself a producer of all things creative. That's pretty much it. I don't want to name drop. I'll save that for the end, but.
And we about to get this shit started. Today, we want to talk to you guys about emotion. Having emotion. What's a great emotion? What's a bad emotion? What's hard to control about our emotions? What's up, Kev? I see you got something on your mind. I see it. It's right there. It's right here. And I know you want to say it. Come on.
No, and I just think that it's really interesting the time frame in which we're having this conversation. Yesterday, Janae, the producer, hosted one of her events called The Verdict. Right. And one of the questions that was asked centered around men and cheating, and we talked about masculinity a little bit and what makes men kind of cheat and things of that nature. One of the comments that was made by a man there was that the event was cool, they just thought the men there were too emotional. Too sensitive.
Yes.
Too sensitive.
So I was offended by that because the space that I create is for people to to one, feel comfortable to speak, to two, just express themselves without feeling like somebody's going to record them, somebody's going to say something about them, someone's going to judge them. And with that being said, for you to tell me, or for one of my friends to overhear you say, you know, the men are too sensitive, it's like, what is too sensitive?
It's like, why you pull up? Why you even come?
Well, first of all, he
bringing
was
that
a
energy.
walk-in first, and I didn't have enough balls to tell him no, you know, it was a ticketed event, blah, blah, blah. So I just let him in. I was like, you know, whatever, come and join, you know,
How
the
bad could it be?
conversation.
Right.
Because the men were outnumbered. There were a good amount of men there. However, I just didn't think that, I don't know, I'm not a nice person. I'm not a mean person. I like to be.
That Freudian
Did she have it right the first time or no? Did she have it right the first time?
I am nice.
People that dress this nice be mean sometimes.
Listen, them tickets weren't cheap, so I let him in for free. It was like, you know, I wanted you to enjoy the conversation. He was somebody walking past. I guess he saw something he liked in the room, and he wanted to come in. So he joined. He didn't even have conversation, but he joined in on the discussion.
We had a conversation about that on our podcast last week about men being sensitive, or well, not being sensitive, but being comfortable with showing their emotions. Kevaan posed me with a few questions before we even started the show. Well, in the beginning of the show, and I didn't realize how on that side of the fence I was until he asked me the questions and I started answering them. Because in my mind, I'm like, I'll show my emotions, like I don't care, whatever. And then when he asked me certain things, I was like, automatically, like I was quick to be like, oh no, that's not what men do.
Right, because it's not what men do, but it's like what men feel they shouldn't do because of the stigma of the online presence, or just how you were brought up. A lot of men put on this persona that they have to be strong and big and bulky, and they can't cry, and they can't be weak, and they can't show any type of just emotion that isn't of a caliber of, I guess, a woman would express. Like,
let me ask you a question. Do women prefer, because I feel like it's mixed, do women prefer a man to show his emotions? Or is it like vice versa, where it's like, yo, you coming too crazy?
All women.
Right. You can't speak for all women.
From your experience.
Let me just ask
you
you.
know how I start? I feel.
Right. Okay. So for
feel.
you, right.
So I
Which
feel.
one would you prefer?
All right. So I feel like when women are, well, when I'm in a situation where I'm dating a guy or I'm in a relationship, a lot of my entire life is shaped on like the men in my life, how I was brought up. So I was brought up around 3 very dominant men. One being my grandfather, one being my dad, and one being my stepdad. Now my dad, I had like a long distance relationship with him. He didn't live where I live. My stepdad, he took care of my mom. He was the man of the house. My mom had, you know, her own thing going on, but like he was the man of the house. Both of those relationships were pretty much the same because they listened to their wives. They didn't have control. What they said went. However, their wives were always like the higher voice, the carrier. Like what they say go.
Right.
They have those relationships. They also express how they felt. They also had conversations. They also would get into maybe a little bit of friction here and there, but it was always respectable conversation. So I knew what communication was at an early age. When I'm dating someone, I'm in a relationship, I would prefer if a guy, you know, whatever, I don't want to say whatever he says goes, but like I want him to have a voice, but I also want him to use that same voice and allow me to understand how he feels instead of like taking tally on how many times I made him mad and then now he's just exploding.
Before we keep going, what is too emotional?
That's what I'm going to say. I was going to get to that. So it can, like, people confuse emotion, sensitivity with, and they also put that in the category as bitching.
Right.
If someone is constantly telling you how you make them feel, that may be, like, they may be too sensitive in that perspective because you may feel like, okay, well, I'm not doing anything to make you feel this way. But you're complaining. So now you're complaining, you're sensitive, and you're bitching because you keep doing it.
Right.
These are feelings. It's not like bitching is a complaint.
They need to be validated.
Right.
However you feel, regardless if it's factual or
So
not.
you can complain like you are always doing this, or you are always doing that, or I don't like this, I don't like that. Or instead of saying I feel, or you make me feel this way, or I don't like the way you made me feel. Like those are sensitive actions, or those are like you expressing your feelings. But if you're not expressing your feelings and you're just giving someone complaints and you're just complaining about shit, that's a complaint and that's bitching.
Right.
But present day, I feel that a man should be willing to be able to pick up the phone or be able to sit me down and say, like, this is how I feel. Instead of saying a month later, well, you did this, this, and that. That shit don't matter now because
You
that was
should've
a
said
month
something
ago.
when it
Like,
happened. Right.
present me, sit me down, or check me when we out or when we're doing whatever. Like, or when we get home, like if you feel I didn't do something. Now I'm just saying, like, not if we're out in a public place, but like if we're walking down the street and like,
But
something
it's
I
ways
said
to
you,
talk. Yeah, it's ways
address
like
it.
in
Like,
public,
don't
right,
say that. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
address it when it's present. Like, you know, when the time presents itself.
You ever
Like,
been checked in public? I love to see that.
I couldn't.
You said what?
I couldn't.
You
see
said
me
what?
Checking you on public.
no.
You said what?
No,
I feel
no.
like
I've
you
never
would
been
reverse
checked
the
in
check.
said
public.
what?
She
I've
will
never been
reverse
checked-
the check.
I've never been checked in public, but
Say
I've
it again.
also I've
Say
never
it
been
again.
checked in public.
See, that right there is why you don't get checked.
This is the
I
check
don't know what
reverse.
that is. I don't know what that
This
is.
is the check reverse. When you see a girl do this or something, you can't check her. She's the uncheckable.
Don't do that. Don't
was-
do that.
That was scary. If y'all like Janae, you're interested a little bit, you want to say something
Talk
to
your
her,
talk.
Mine.
Talk your talk.
don't be coming with that foo-foo because
your
she ain't
talk.
with it. You heard? And you might get checked. So, there you go.
Or
There you
jokes
have
like
it.
that. I don't know
Man,
what that was.
I don't know what it was, but I thought it was about to happen.
Yeah. I do want to. Now that we established that it's okay
For men.
to have emotion,
Correct.
right? What do you think, Dajon and Janae? You could chime in. You know what I mean? I want you to chime in on this as well from your experience. What do you think is the most important emotion that a man should possess?
I feel like my most important emotion that I feel like men and women should have, but since we're talking about men, I feel like men should have hope. As people, we get stripped of things that we've acquired, things that we've achieved, and if you don't have hope, it's like you're not motivated to be better, you're not motivated to do better, you're not motivated to inspire others to be better people. And if you don't have hope, I feel that you can't become anything, you can't be anyone.
You wear several hats as an individual, and in order for you to at least obtain one of those, you have to sit home one day and say,
What are the possibilities?
Yes.
Like, I have to weigh how good or how
Right.
amazing I can be if I just take one step forward, or if I just try, or if I go to work another day to do X, Y, and Z. Like, take advantage of what I can possibly be or possibly do by just having hope and believing in myself. So I feel like men should also have that same energy, have that same, quality, and express that same emotion when applying anything to, their everyday life.
"What's up with you, Kat? We've been waiting to get on this side of the show."
And I'm pretty much still at a standstill. I mean, I hate to use this one because I feel like it's cliche, but it really, at the core of who I am, I felt like love is always just the universal solvent. Like, for me, like, just anyone who really knows me just knows that I'm all about showing love. Like, you know what I mean? I'm all about really like brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? Or sisterhood, you know what I mean? Like, just like
Embracing and feeling.
Embracing and feeling and really just like being there, you know what I mean? Like, for what that word really means and what it embodies. Like, I feel like it embodies all of the great emotion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think if you possess love, you know what I'm saying? Like, love for self.
There's like so many subcategories
Right, there's so many
on how you
subcategories.
can feel within that.
Exactly. And I think for me, it's a constant daily reminder to, one, love myself. And once I'm okay with who I am and who I'm becoming and where I am, it's so much easier for me to be a better person or the best me and interact in my relationships with everyone else, whether it be someone that I'm looking to build with romantically, or someone that, you know what I mean, like is my brother or my sister, or someone that I don't even know from a can of paint. Like, it's just so much easier for me to interact with them because I'm intact.
Do you ever love someone from a distance that possibly would have changed for you?
Yeah, so something that I had to kind of study and understand for myself is that you know, people talk about love languages and stuff like that, and that stuff is very real. Because just because you show love a certain way doesn't mean that's the way that somebody needs to receive love in a certain time.
Right.
Sometimes it felt like it was a me thing, you know what I mean? And that's what we do sometimes as people. We take it personally and be like, damn, like, what am I doing? What am I wrong? Why am I not good enough? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Especially
like,
when the communication is off.
Especially,
When you're not getting that from that
especially when the
person.
communication is off.
Right.
And it may not be anything that you were doing per se,
Right.
or it could be something that you're doing to contribute, right?
But that's a natural instinct, though.
Or contribute, right? It's a natural instinct. Contribute to,
Guilt.
Right. We automatically put it on ourselves. When you know that something is not
It's
going
like
your way.
It's like an instant turnaround. Like we just feel if it's not received or it's not in our favor, it's like, well,
What did
it's
I
me.
do?
It's
Right,
me.
exactly.
And then
So that
That is a great point, because I don't think that's not our first inclination is to think, well, maybe they just not ready. We automatically think, well, what did I do?
It's me, right?
Right.
Because
I'm not
all
good
the
enough.
time,
That's
like
really
it's step
interesting.
after step after step. Like this signal. Okay, cool. We align. Then I say something, and then you slow down.
And
It's
they go back. It's
so
like,
I'm
okay.
why I'm here and
Right,
you back
right,
here.
right,
Like
right,
so,
right.
what the
Right.
signal got crossed, and you just automatically assume that it's you.
Notice that you said, they don't feel like they're good enough, because my destructive emotion is worthlessness.
Okay.
When you get in a position where you feel worthless, and that not even just a relationship type barrier.
Because it starts with you.
Right.
It's you.
And
Yeah.
you could be worthless to anything. I was communicating with one of my female friends the other day, and she was really disheartened, like broken up. She was crying, everything. What the hell is going on? Like, what's wrong? I was talking to my ex, blah blah blah, and he just made me feel worthless. Like, he made me feel so worthless. And what I took from that was, a lot of times you don't gotta be face to face with somebody. It doesn't have to be somebody else around you. You could be far apart from that individual
And
still feel worthless. Like, even somebody that you're not dealing with, like I know I said earlier, like, not from a relationship standpoint, but yeah, so like a boyfriend, girlfriend, friendship, family, right.
relationship
Any type
doesn't
of
mean
shit.
romantic.
Relationship is just
It
the
can
umbrella.
be, it
Right,
can be
right.
you and her. Like,
Right.
you could have made her feel the same feeling.
Exactly.
Because it's like she looks highly of the person that said whatever to
Right.
her. So if you're looking up to someone, like, you got to think about it as a child. Like, starting at a young age, you have to realize that you learn everything being small. So
Right.
anything larger than you is something that's better than you, bigger than you.
Right.
If you don't know better.
I learned that wasn't true fast.
Right.
So my destructive feeling and emotion would be fear. Because if you are afraid to do anything, you won't be anything.
You won't be shit.
No.
You won't be shit.
And I'm now very comfortable with being uncomfortable, because I feel like if I don't do it, somebody else won't do it. If I don't break the chain, I don't break the cycle, it's just gonna keep going on and keep being
It is what it
miserable.
is.
And then time doesn't really come back to you ever. So being afraid is just
Pointless. The
no,
screensaver
no
on my
punk
phone.
ass.
Right. We ain't got no time for that shit.
No one has time for anything, but I just feel like the whole fear thing, it really slows you down and it really puts you at a standstill. So in order to get further, you have to be uncomfortable to get comfortable. But you ever see like a little kid that's afraid to get in the pool, or a little kid
Facts.
that's afraid to get on a roller coaster, or walk to the edge of something, but you know that it's only like a little bit of a drop.
Right.
But it's because
You see them when they finally jump in, though? You
then
can't
they-
get them out.
That's
You
the-
can't get them
that's
out.
Right. It's the
You
best
can't get 'em
feeling
out.
because
They
they
conquered the
actually
fear.
had hope that they would probably feel better once they did it, and that fear you see it from the outside looking in, like, damn, I'm actually afraid to do this. So they stutter and they hesitate, and then they cry and then they melt down, and then they just give up and they just go for it.
That's what I love about our generation the most. I mean, when you look back to our parents, and then even like a little bit before them, you got people like Oprah and them that just said, "I'm gonna just take a chance." Like I'm gonna just take a chance, and
There's
now
not
look
many
at
Oprahs.
it. For
and
real.
That's what makes us more,
Our generation
more
is with the
distinctive.
shit.
Right. Like,
we
really
with the
with
But
shit.
see, here's the kicker, right? Because insecurity is my first destructive, but my second one, right? Speaks to our generation, what a lot of people feel about our generation. And I think it's probably true. This sense of entitlement,
Okay.
right?
We've had this conversation.
Right. Everybody just feel like they just deserve it, right? And so now,
But they don't do nothing.
nobody
They don't do the work.
Right.
They don't do
everybody wants to be Oprah and saying, I'm gonna be Oprah, but
But what are you
the
doing?
work that Oprah put in,
From day one. You know how long it take before somebody really blow? And you know, it's people that could have been doing something for a while. I mean, doing things for a long time.
That you never
How many
knew.
people do y'all know on social media that were doing something for a while and it just popped? To the point where and now you getting that recognition, you getting that love, and you on that pedestal.
I mean, I'm a
now you could
feel
be
that.
entitled.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
When you started, from like day one.
2010.
Did you ever think that in 2018 it was gonna be like this?
No.
That you was gonna be moving the way you? But the thing is, had you been fearful, you never took that leap. You wouldn't even know.
Right.
And I think where we fuck up a lot is a lot of people have backup plans. Because I feel like once you give yourself a backup plan, you're not even going that hard for the original plan no more. Because now
need to have time
now
to
you're
plan.
telling yourself you fine. You like, you know what? If it don't work, I got this backup plan. We need to run at it with no backup plan. We need plan A's. Fuck a B and C. Because at this point,
Your plan B needs to be to implement plan A.
we need that emotion
Right.
called energy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We need that energy to get us like, bro, do what you gotta do.
You need that energy.
You need that energy.
What was the last thing you did to make you feel like you were worth something?
Man, I had this bomb ass comedy show. But you know what? Even before that, not even the actual show, it was everything leading up to the show that made me feel like, yo, this, like, I have worth, you know, in this world. It was all the confirmation that I got before the show had even came. That whole group that never comes, but they be like, Dajon, you know I fuck with you, but I ain't coming. It's just not my way, blah, blah, blah. They always like, where do I get? I'm coming. Where is it at? Blah, blah, blah. And that was pushing me, and it really gave me that. And even my family jumped in and was like, whoa, what took you so long? You know what I mean? And that was that confirmation, that affirmation to let me know, like, yo, you on the right path, you know what I'm saying? And everything may not always go my way, but, you know, it's like having hope. I got hope, and I know that if I stay on the path, and if I just go for it, that you can't really lose. And I think most people don't like setbacks. Like we don't feel like when you said people like that sense of entitlement, people don't like hearing no. It's gonna be some setbacks.
You gotta have some thick skin in this.
You gotta have thick skin. It's gonna be some
win.
setbacks.
If you want that Oprah status,
Bro, you gonna take some
You need a
L's.
fucking mink on your back.
You gonna
You
take
need to
some
protect
L's,
your skin
bro.
on
You
top
gonna
of your
take
thick
some
skin.
L's, but I just want to do what truly makes me happy. And when I started chasing it, and the energy around me let me know, like, yo, you do have worth. You know, you're not just a regular guy walking on the street. You know what I mean? Like, people see you, they know you, and people bang with you hard. You know what I mean? So that definitely showed me the worth that
I know what you meant, but for those people on the street, they got worth too.
Of course. Yeah. I don't know enough.
So, Nay, what was the last thing that you've done that showed your courage?
I would say inviting someone somewhere. I would say this. As a woman, we feel like we should always be receiving, right? A lot of us feel that way. I just speak for us all and say that. We feel like a man should give us, a man should do this, a man should do that. If someone wants to be somewhere, they're going to ask you to go. And learning how someone operates, you learn their love language, you learn how they talk, how they act, how they move. And I figured that if I want to see this person, I'm probably gonna have to ask him to do this or to do that, or invite him out, or invite him this place or that place or whatever. So
You want to take the lead a little bit.
yeah, so I actually used to be very
Just communicate.
right. I used to be very uncomfortable because let me say this: as a woman doing this, men may think like they may receive it wrong.
How did it turn out? Did the guy come? Did he show up?
Yeah, like it's like a thing that I feel comfortable doing. So I now feel like if I want to go somewhere, if I want to do something, it's like, hey, what you doing? You want to meet up, or you want to do
Like,
this?
like,
da-da-da?
let's-
Yeah.
oh, okay, cool,
Instead
cool.
of like waiting around for someone to
For
say that
them
you
to
know,
do it.
right? So now if I reach out or you reach out and I'm not available, if he's not available, I'm not gonna feel like what I do wrong. Like for example, I don't know how to receive compliments. Like I just don't. It just makes me uncomfortable as hell. And I just be sitting there all stupid. So I know the
Yeah, I
feeling.
love your glasses.
I think your blazer, I mean, it's beautiful.
Alright. If a person isn't used to receiving something, they're probably not gonna know how to handle it. It's like you know, drive with your right hand, you could whip it, now your shit broke and now you gotta drive with your left hand, you fucking shit up.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yours was
Is that
insecurity. What have you done lately to make yourself seem secure?
Yes.
I can tell you one thing you did today. You put that damn blazer on.
I didn't think professionally or for where I want to be with certain things. Like I don't think that I have the credentials. You know what I mean? In certain spaces for some of the things that I want to do. Right. So. Like, even when I walk in a room for an interview, like, I feel like I'm bullshitting the whole interview.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
not even just a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
And it will be easier.
Does that feel the same?
Right.
Just because it's like
You gotta bullshit though. You gotta bullshit.
You gotta be as a little
You
bit.
have to be.
You gotta be.
You're not always gonna have everything.
But it's
Right.
crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, but for me, it's like I feel like that a lot of the time about a lot of things. Like even for the things that I'm really passionate about, like the events that I throw or being an entertainer. You know what I mean? Like even with certain things, it's just like, well, what have you really done? You know what I'm saying?
I feel the same way though.
So-
I really do feel the same way because
So I think for me,
it makes sense.
the last thing that I've done to counteract those insecurities, one was applying to business school. To answer the question of the last thing that I've done was probably send my email to my dean for the admission school and be like, look, I know I didn't meet the criteria,
Right.
but you'd be stupid for not picking.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like,
It's people that don't. It's people in those platforms that didn't have it all, but they got in there. Once you're in the door, it's on.
It's on.
That's
why I said, just give.
It's
just give me
on
the
after
opportunity.
that.
Just unlock
Because
the door,
most of these jobs,
open it a little bit,
any job on this earth that you go into, no matter what it is, entertainment, finance, medical, whatever, everybody has a month at least. I want to say 2 weeks to a month window
To learn.
where you are getting trained. You have to learn. You know what I mean? So at that point, you really could put anybody in that month. Cause you put me in a month to learn some shit, I'm gonna learn it. Especially if I know it's somewhere that's gonna put me ahead, like I'll learn it. You know what I mean? I like to see my brother doing that. No, I'm serious, bro. Like on some real shit. Because I'm gonna tell you some shit, bro. Most people won't do what we've done. I'm just talking about us three because we're here right now on the show. There are many more people that do this because a lot of people don't realize production and what they do at all because they could be home right now doing what they want to do, but they here trying to make it work. You know what I'm saying? Production is key out here. You know what I'm saying? And for all y'all who don't know who behind this camera right now,
Mind your
it's
business.
get to know.
Business.
Get to know.
Read the credits.
Get to know.
In lending your experience as we wrap it, what is your advice to our audience in regards to just whatever?
Honestly, just fuck what people think about you. Feel, and feel. Like, that's all I can really give you. You just need to feel everything. Because if you hold it in, you're just gonna hurt yourself. And if you hold it in, you're just gonna hurt someone else. So, and instead of trying to fix 2, 3, and 4 people, just start with yourself and be yourself. Online, offline, at home, anywhere. And just put your best foot forward. Just don't stand still. That's it. That's all I got.
Where can they find you? Do you have anything up and coming? Anything?
So you can find me on Instagram at the Janae Raquel, no underscores, no anything. On Twitter, I'm Janae Raquel, and my podcast is called Let's Get Skin Deep. It is a podcast for the everyday girl trying to figure life out and the guys trying to figure us out. And also I have a event series. It's called The Verdict. And
You working?
You already know.
I'm waiting for you to stop. You didn't even take a breath. She just damn.
I mean,
What's next?
I'm about to wrap it.
I love it. No, keep.
So The Verdict is a social empowerment summit for girls and guys where I invite guys and girls to pretty much have a conversation and professionally and productively argue with each other. So it's about listening, it's about receiving, speaking and receiving, and respect, pretty much. And
You can find me on Instagram at Dajon Be Trippin'. It's exactly what you thought I just said.
exactly what you said.
On Twitter, it's the same thing at DajonBeTrippin. Thank you so much.
Twitter is
I
actually
appreciate
good,
y'all. Where can we find you?
Where you at?
On Twitter. As of today.
Okay. What about IG?
And
What's Instagram?
I was trying to think of a clever Twitter name.
You gonna have to switch
You
it
got
up.
time.
It's just gonna have to be tailored. TAILORED__. You can find me on Instagram. That's where I be.
Hey, we want to thank y'all for tuning in with us today, man.
We
Had a
appreciate
great show.
you.
Thank you, Janae,
Thank you, Janae.
Thank
for
you
being
for
on the
having
show
me.
with us,
Thank you for
man. We
having
really
me.
appreciate it.
Appreciate your energy.
And you could also find all of us, me and you, in production at The Male Intuition on IG.
Yes, the male intuition.
Holla at us. We trying to build that following up,
Watch
baby.
those
Let's
archives.
get it.
They're
Let's
good.
get it, you heard?
$1 million pose with these $1 million flows. I ain't thinking about a deal, ain't $1 million no. Back up on my face, I got $1 million glow. Say you sold for some clothes, now you reaping what you sow. I been kicking ass, I got $1 million toe. I be quarterbacking deals, that's $1 million pro. Keep your greasy weave off my couch, that's a no. The rugged alpaca, that's $1 million throw. Pillow on the floor, disobeyed it, you can go. King D.